Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi volunteers in Guangzhou inspire the staff members of a nursing home to practice filial duties. An earthquake survivor in Mexico gets back on his feet because of Tzu Chi's assistant in care. A music professor composes 30 Jing Si Aphorism songs and presents them at Daling Tzu Chi Hospital. Today we take you to Indonesia first. Every month, local Tzu Chi volunteers visit care recipients regularly. Among them is Murti, who has been bedridden for the past 3 years after suffering a stroke and becoming completely paralyzed. She relies on her mother to take care of her. Volunteers brought diapers and a wheelchair to help ease the burden on her mother, as well as other assistants.
40-year-old Murti is paralyzed. For the past 3 years, all her daily needs have been looked after by her mother.
She had a stroke right after her husband passed away. It might be due to her husband being the sole provider for the family, and his sudden passing really troubled her.
The family has limited financial resources, and they sought out non-traditional health care for her daughter, which made her condition worse. When Tzu Chi heard about the case, they quickly mobilized to provide her a wheelchair and adult diapers to relieve some of the burden.
I really want to thank the Tzu Chi Foundation for helping us so much. They gave us diapers. We used to have to use old clothing in place of diapers.
Marini has kidney cysts herself. Her other daughter also has difficulty moving around. The three women all depend on one another to pass the days.
Volunteers listen carefully to Marini's pain and suffering. In addition to the material aid, they will continue to accompany them through this tough time.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Guangzhou, China, paid a monthly visit to a nursing home in Haizhu. In addition to bringing them love and care, volunteers also held a birthday party for the seniors. Moved by the volunteers' thoughtfulness and dedication, staff members of the nursing home have learned the importance of practicing filial duties.
Receiving a warm welcome from Tzu Chi volunteers, the elderly people at the nursing home all feel well respected. Volunteers have prepared a cake, holding a birthday party for the seniors.
My mother was in critical conditions and she passed away last month. I have been taking care of her by myself, so I know caring for these elderly people in their time of need is important. We should seize the moment to carry out filial duties and do good deeds in time.
I have lost my parents, so I have no chance to practice my filial duties to them. Every time I come here, I treat the seniors as my own parents. I hope I can do my part to practice filial piety in the rest of my lifetime.
The volunteer shares the Jing Si Aphorism, which says, physical illness is not frightening. What is frightening is illness of the mind.
The expression makes sense. People who are ill should not think too much, but they should be happy instead. This way they will gradually recover from illness. If their health worsens, they should go to a doctor.
I have learned how to conduct charitable works and respect the elderly people. I have been influenced by the way you interact with the seniors and your every small act.
The volunteers encourage staff members of the nursing home to enjoy the happiness of serving people who are in need.
A family of 4 in Taichung made their living by selling corn. The son, who's in 2nd grade, wanted to go to a cram school, but the family was unable to pay the tuition. When the story spread out on the internet, many members of the public offered to donate. However, Mrs. Lee turned down the kindness because she wanted to raise a family through her own effort. The son of the Lee family is going to be a 2nd grader soon, and he longs to go to cram schools like his fellow classmates. However, his family's financial situation does not allow him this luxury.
Going to cram school will add financial burden to our family, so I told him that we will save the money till he's older and needs it more. We shouldn't waste our money.
Most of the space in the house is occupied with used items.
I sell second-hand items. I normally sell whatever others donate to me.
My father can't go sell corn sometimes because he needs to go to the doctor, but I'm willing to wait.
The father suffers from hearing impairment and cancer, and the mother is a new immigrant from China. The family of 4 leads a tough life with meager income from selling used items and corn. When their story was posted on the internet, many people offered to help, but Mrs. Lee refused.
I don't want donations from others. It's enough for me if they can buy the second-hand items and corn I sell sometime. We want to raise our children through our own efforts.
In fact, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the Lee family for more than 4 years. They became care recipients when a police officer, who's also a volunteer, found out about their situation.
She works very hard and is very energetic. When talking to her, she said her muscles are sore all over, but she keeps on doing her job regardless.
Although their life is hard, they work hard to make a living and refuse to rely on others' donations. Mrs. Lee hopes that one day she can also help others in need. In Taiwan, 83-year-old Tzu Chi recycling volunteer Huang Chenming, who suffered from mild dementia, got lost on her way home from the recycling station. Her family sought help from the police, and Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to look for her. Then Grandma Huang ended up in Guangzhou, and someone brought her to the police station. Fortunately, the police used face detection system and found her family.
83-year-old Grandma Huang Chenming rides her electric motorcycle to the recycling station every day. A few days ago, she got lost on her way home.
I wanted to take a detour to take a look, but I could not find my way.
Since Grandma Huang Chen suffers from mild dementia, a foreign caregiver usually accompanies her. However, on that day, she was absent.
At around 2 o'clock, her daughter-in-law called me, and she said she has not returned home. I then started looking for her.
Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to look for her. The fact is, Grandma Huang Chen rode her electric motorcycle for 4 to 5 hours till it ran out of electricity.
I was on the expressway, and then people stopped me. I forgot all about it.
Grandma ended up in Gangshan, which was more than 10 kilometers away from home. Fortunately, someone took her to the police station.
We did not know her family or address. Later, we used face detection system and found that she lives in Renwu district.
With this experience, Grandma Huang Chen no longer takes detours. She also carries her nameplate with her so that such future accidents will not happen again.
In Mexico, Tzu Chi volunteers accomplished the earthquake disaster relief work with the help of 4 local volunteers. Among the volunteers was one individual, Jamie, who was inspired by Tzu Chi volunteers' efforts and has found a new meaning in life. Thanks to Tzu Chi's help, he is able to get back on his feet.
Pasaron los días. Y en el transcurso del tercer cuarto día,
The days passed, and on the 3rd day, I saw a few young guys with these vests.
me acerqué, me dio curiosidad, regresé.
I was curious, so I asked who they were. They told me they are volunteers with the Tzu Chi Foundation. The foundation came to San Gregorio to help us. We were very fortunate that they came. Now it's our turn to give back by joining them in their efforts to help others who are still in need. I really hope that more volunteers can join so the foundation can continue to grow and help even more communities.
We volunteered and went to help out in the Chinampas area. The people there needed help, and now they feel so much better that we went. We feel joyful as well since we were able to really do something concretely. I feel happy to be one of the volunteers, and thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to help.
The moment that we received the cash cards, our family had a taste of happiness. It really gave us a sense of hope and boosted our morale. After all the sadness from the earthquake, our houses were destroyed, but now we could rebuild again with your help.
Yo estoy agradecido con la fundación.
I am super grateful for the foundation. The whole family is so thankful. Me, my daughter, and my husband are so happy that someone remembered the people like us, the people that are in dire situations.
Quedamos en situación de calle.
In our moments of need, the foundation really came and cheered us up. We had not received any prior help from anyone.
No habíamos recibido ninguna ayuda.
and our belongings were lost in the midst of the chaotic situation. Now we are so happy that we are able to buy items that are daily necessities, such as food, mattresses, and other items to cover our basic needs.
Las palabras que yo le diga no tienen mucho.
I can't say thank you enough for this. I don't know how else to express it in a way that I would like. It just doesn't seem to say thank you enough. The foundation arrived at a time where we had no more hope. They really turned our lives around with their love and care.
I really hope that all human beings carry out these values that they have taught us over the course of these months. I do not know a lot, only a little. But with the little bit that I have learned, Master Zheng Yin has really helped me realize that the most important things in life are love, kindness, and compassion toward humanity. I knew that someone was looking after us, making sure that our lives would keep on going. Thank you all so much.
Also in Mexico, Leticia and her mother-in-law lost their home during the earthquake, but they are glad to be together and alive. With Tzu Chi's help, they have once again found the motivation to keep going. Thanks to volunteers' continuous companionship, they are now very happy to be able to give back and donate their family check to the foundation.
En esta tengo viviendo 48 años. He pasado mucho. Primero, la enfermedad de mi esposo falleció.
I've been living here for 48 years now. I've gone through a lot over the years. First was my husband's sickness. He passed away due to the illness, and 7 months after that, my daughter died in an accident. But the hardest one was losing my son. It was sudden. The doctor said that he didn't suffer, that it was just 2 seconds. And then the earthquake happened. That's when I said, "Ay, this year has been very hard for us."
Ahí fue donde le digo, este año sí nos fue muy duro para nosotros.
El día del temblor, al no estar conmigo mi pareja, mi esposo.
The day of the earthquake, I felt very lonely, defenseless, and unprotected because my husband was not with me. But then when I turned around and saw my mother-in-law so frightened, my first instinct was just to protect her.
Protegerla. Me veo como cabeza de familia.
I see myself as the head of the family. I know that I have to take care of my mother-in-law. I know that I am responsible for the boys and also the family business.
Aquí es una funeraria.
Here we have a funeral home, and in this kind of business, we unfortunately work with death on a daily basis. We work with the loss of loved ones.
Cuando llegan aquí a entregarnos el cuerpo de su familiar,
when people arrive here to give us the body of their relatives, they arrive devastated, disappointed, angry, all of the emotions you can possibly think of. So here we offer them a kind of temporary home where they can stay and talk out their feelings and sorrow and actually be listened to. And that was exactly what I received from Tzu Chi. The Tzu Chi family embraced me in their arms and listened to me. They gave me a helping hand and they didn't ask for anything in return.
Oídos, esa mano que no me pidió nada para darme algo.
Gracias a la ayuda que nos dieron en la fundación.
Thanks to the help from the foundation, we were able to buy posts to brace the roof. And because of that, we were able to celebrate both Christmas and New Year's. I cooked for everyone. There were hot meals and stews.
Ya empecé yo a cocinar, que ya empezamos a comer calientito, empezamos a comer guisados.
Tenemos ahora la seguridad.
We now can feel safe knowing that the house will not collapse on us. This means that we will be able to sleep peacefully. We are a little broken and dusty, but at the end of the day, we are still alive. As long as there is still life, there is always hope for a better future. The funeral home had a green 1794 check, and after talking with my fellow local Tzu Chi volunteers, we came to the conclusion that there's a huge need for transportation. We didn't have a way to move around as a team, so I remember this check, and what better way to give back than donating this vehicle to do good deeds. It's not only the check itself, but the whole history of the family that is being given to Tzu Chi. It's our family's way of paying back for what they have done for us. After volunteering for the past 4 months, for me, Tzu Chi signifies solidarity, love, kindness, and brotherhood.
They gave me a bamboo coin bank, and every day I put a little bit of money inside. Just as they donated to us, we have to do the same to help and support the other people that need it.
What changed in me since Tzu Chi's arrival is that I found people similar to our culture. I found that if we all work together, we can build not only a house, not only a town, not only a country, but build a better world together.
Sino un país o al mismo mundo.
Taiwan University of Arts Professor Huang Futang has written 30 Jing Si Aphorism songs, hoping to harmonize society through music. Recently, Tzu Chi Foundation has been granted the copyrights of these songs. In addition, the first official presentation of these songs was held at Chiayi's Daling Tzu Chi Hospital. Let's take a look.
Jing Si Aphorism songs are being officially performed for the first time at Chiayi's Daling Tzu Chi Hospital. The songwriter Huang Futang has waited 20 years for this moment.
I'm very happy. I've waited 20 years for this moment. It's as if I've given birth to a child, but I've never seen the child until now. The child has already grown up, both grand and beautiful.
In the past, Huang Futang was requested by Professor Lin Fangjing to write 30 Tzu Chi songs. Later, Lin passed away from an illness. 20 years have since passed, and now Lin Fangjing Charitable Foundation has finally granted the copyrights of these songs to the Tzu Chi Foundation.
Although the lyrics are quite short, the melody is very moving, giving an impression of strength.
We are impressed that words of wisdom can be incorporated into a song. This gives the song soul and a meaningful purpose.
Jing Si Aphorism songs express compassion and wisdom. The lyrics can soothe the listeners' minds. Both the singers and listeners are able to feel the harmony and gratitude that the songs convey.
Volunteers from both Selangor and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, were invited to hold a lecture on environmental protection at a secondary school in Sudan. They also arranged a hand-on sorting experience at the local Tzu Chi recycling station, allowing students to get up and personal with all the daily recyclable goods. It is with great hope that the students will promote environmental protection and instill these newly learned knowledge into their daily lives.
Seri Kembangan, a secondary school in Selangor, Malaysia, invited Tzu Chi volunteers to promote environmental protection with the students and staff. Volunteers explained the issues of global warming and shared the importance of environmental protection. They hope students will be able to change their living habits for Mother Earth's sake.
When you don't use the electricity, remember to turn it off. Also, rice water can be later reused to flush the toilets with.
We used an easy-to-understand method to raise students' awareness toward environmental protection. There was also a question-and-answer session. We hope through this type of interaction, students will be able to better understand how their life choices make a direct impact on the environment.
In addition to listening, we must actually act on it. Teachers and students went to the Tzu Chi recycling station to physically learn how to classify recyclable goods.
We will one day leave this earth, so environmental protection is crucial for the younger generations. I hope that they will continue to be environmentally friendly and keep Mother Earth clean and clear of pollution in the future.
Not only do we make good use of it, we must continue conserving the limited resources. We hope that through environmental education, everyone can contribute their part to protecting the earth.
In our next report, we meet Lo Seya, a recycling volunteer from Malaysia. She began her recycling mission 4 years ago after she was invited by her relatives and friends to come to the Tzu Chi recycling station in Penang. Even though her life after retirement is not easy, she is devoted to recycling, making her life particularly meaningful.
We put plastic bags here. These are plastic and PET bottles. There is tinfoil inside the Tetra Pak cartons. As for this one, I don't know what it is called.
I asked her to come to Tzu Chi to do recycling with us when she retired from the restaurant business. She immediately agreed and said she would join us to store recyclables when she was not doing business. She has been coming here to do recycling since then.
Committing herself to her friends, Miss Lo joined Tzu Chi to do recycling after retirement and has been engaged in the work for 4 years.
It's nice to help out at the recycling station. For elderly people like us, we have many things to do and have somebody to talk to at the station. I have learned a lot. The recycling station is like a second home to me.
Miss Lo should have started to enjoy life after retirement, but she has to take care of her ill husband and do household chores every morning. Despite the busy schedule, she always finds time and invites people around her to do recycling.
The recyclables can be used to save people and the planet Earth. If we discard everything, the garbage bin will be filled with all kinds of trash. These were collected by my husband when we went for a walk.
The environment in the community has become cleaner and the sanitary conditions have been improved. We will help collect recyclables whenever we have time.
Miss Lo was one of the affected residents of the Penang floods last year. After the disaster, she still kept the furniture that could be used, hoping to reduce chances of creating garbage.
We should continue to use anything that can be used. It isn't until the items are worn out when we think about discarding them. Protecting the environment and saving the earth also make us healthy.
From a layman to someone who is devoted to recycling, Miss Lo makes her life after retirement particularly meaningful.
U.S. Tzu Chi Medical Mission hosted the Tzu Chi Health Day on June 3rd, inviting 2 successful entrepreneurs to share experiences on their dedications to give back to society and serve people in need. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us.